Yo, what's up, folks? This Impact, and I want to take this time to welcome you back to the Hurt Business 101. Let's get right into it, man. 2023 boxing is popping right now. It's alive and kicking. I mean, these dudes is in there rumbling, and me personally, I want to thank everybody involved because for me, boxing has started losing some of its luster. Now, I'm a hardcore boxing fan, so I'm always watching. I'm subscribed to so many different boxing media outlets. I get constant alerts. I'm up on everything. I'm following the sport. But just my enthusiasm to just talk about it on a day-to-day basis was kind of like, just the excitement wasn't there. But this year is helping to bring it back. And I just want to speak about something real quick. People talk about boxing is dead. Boxing was never dead. But it has started taking a back seat to like the UFC. Now, I'm not talking about hardcore boxing fans because I'm not a big UFC guy. I'll watch a UFC fight if it's on. I mean, who don't like to see a good rumble? I'll watch a fight. But I'm not into the sport like I'm into boxing. Take all the participation and all of that stuff away. I'm just speaking about the pugilism of boxing is second to none. I love boxing. I love everything about boxing. The science of boxing. I love the techniques in boxing. I love the fighting styles in boxing. Everything around a boxing event. When you get a boxing event at its height, I mean the highest level of boxing, people that really love boxing and really hardcore, we get those goosebumps, like the hairs on our back start to stand up. That's the feeling I get from boxing that I don't get from the UFC. But that's that's a hardcore boxing guy that's like a junkie. I'm gonna talk really about the casual boxing fans that people always talk about in a negative light. But technically, the casual boxing fans are the target audience because they're the ones that's going to take the sport far. Like, without the casual boxing fans getting involved, I'm just keep it a buck with y'all. That it's not enough money with hardcore boxing fans. You gotta get boxing to the point back like what it used to be. When I hear people talk about it, I used to hear older people that's not even into boxing just talk about, oh, they used to have the fights and I remember this, and when these guys fought, they wasn't even hardcore boxing fans. They just remember a time when they were getting the best guys constantly fighting the best, and they could point back to all of these fights and stuff like that. They were excited about it. So, when you look at it, I'm gonna look at the UFC. I'm not a UFC guy. I'll watch it because I watch a good fight. Anybody watch a good fight, but I love everything about boxing. So if you giving me the real good fights, you're gonna have my undivided attention because I'm not interested. I don't really care the wins and losses. I'm not gonna be mocking boxers and calling guys bums just because they take a loss and they got no chance. I'm not gonna be doing all that because I respect the sport and I know that anybody can fall victim to that at any given time. But this is where the casual boxing fan comes in. The money, the eyeballs. UFC does one hell of a job at targeting casual boxing fans. And the reason they get casual boxing fans to switch over is they're giving you the fight that you want to see, two guys that they have been putting on TV, promoting. You get to watch them for free all the time. And these guys going out there rumbling. When they see to get the number one and number two guy, you're going to definitely get that fight. It's not going to marinate for 5 years and none of that. No, once these guys reach to a point where it's a consensus that they're the best two guys and the crowd and the fans are yearning for it, they give it to you. It's one guy in charge of the matchmaking, and once there's a high enough demand for that fight and it doesn't take long, there's no marinating, there's no sides of the street, it's none of this, I'm with this network or that promoter and you with that guy. No. Dana White is going to get those guys together. They're going to come to terms. And I'm sure there's negotiations about price and then how much the purses are going to be and all that. But at the end of the day, you're getting that fight. And casual boxing fans will most definitely jump ship or show less interest and show more interest in the UFC because they like, yo, they rumbling over there. I'm getting Conor McGregor and Khabib, and I'm getting all of the top guys. They over there rumbling. But in boxing, we keep getting these one-sided mismatches where it's like journeyman. They try to sell you journeyman as being a good fight for a guy that we all kind of know, this is what the outcome is. We're not getting too many 50-50 fights. So with that being said, boxing this year, we got to keep up. The sport of boxing got to keep moving on with the momentum that has been gaining this year. We done got Plant versus Benavidez, damn good scrap. We done got Tank versus Ryan, okay scrap for however long it lasted. It wasn't 50-50, but he had a shot based on his speed and punching power. And the intrigue was there because why? Most casual boxing fans really believed that Ryan had a shot. His audience, his fan base are basically made up of casual boxing fans. It's not a whole lot of hardcore boxing fans thinking that Ryan Garcia is the next coming. I know he has talent, he has athleticism as far as his speed and things like that. He has a really good hook, and I know with those attributes, at any given time he could stop a guy. But as a hardcore fan, I've never looked at Ryan as he's up next. So at the end of the day, if we want to keep this momentum with boxing in 2023. I mean, because the year is still going on. We just had Crawford versus Spence, and we got Jamil versus Canelo coming up. I mean, it's 2 weight class difference, but I'll still take it. Let's not forget, it wasn't publicized like that, but we had Julian Williams versus Carlos Adames. It was a damn good fight. Bogus, bullshit stoppage in my estimation, but we'll save that conversation for another day. But these guys are rumbling. And if we want to keep this thing going, it's going to take the fighters' willingness to step in there and fight each other. It's going to take promoters, different sides of the street, whatever they want to call it, to work together. It's going to take the boxing media, both mainstream and social media. It's going to take the way that they cover the sport. They're going to have to change as well. And then fans, we're going to have to, when they give us these big events that cost us some money, everything is not going to be pay-per-view. We're going to get some real good fights for free. But when they give us these big events, it's a gauge. It's about money, folks. It's about how much everybody could possibly make off the fight. Fighters want to get paid a certain dollar amount. In order for fighters to get paid a certain dollar amount, the money has to be there. Sometimes it just doesn't make business sense for everybody to give us these fights. So when they do put them on pay-per-view, and it's one of those ones that we've been all complaining about not getting, that we are looking for, we got to order it and not steal it on pirate streams. Everybody's guilty of streaming a fight here and there. I'm not trying to put anybody down or anything like that. But when they give us the ones we want, we got to go ahead and pay for it so that everybody in the suits can see, hey, if we just give them these fights that they want, the support will be there financially and everybody's going to get paid. Because that's ultimately what this is all about. This is about money. And we got to show them that we're willing to put our money where our mouths are when we begging for these fights and complaining about not getting them. And I hope 2023 continues to build on the momentum it's been gaining and give us a lot more to talk about. Man, I want to thank y'all for tuning in to another edition of the Hurt Business 101. And you know what they say? It's no business like show business. But I say it's no business like the hurt business. 1-0-1. Done.